开始吗？So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Hilda from SUNY Group, and today, welcome to our live stream room. And today, we are going to show you the whole factory and introduce each kind of the wipes machine of our company. And so, also, we will take you directly to the customer site and visit our factory and the production process of each kind of wipes machines and products it produces. So let's have a first look about this kind of production line, which is called a high upgraded 20 lanes automatic twin rows wipes machine. So about this kind of machine, it needs to go through several processes to be able to produce a complete product. So let's introduce from the first step. As we all know, if we want to produce a wipes product, first of all, we need some raw materials. So this is the raw material we need. And the fabric, we can use the non-woven fabric or the flushable wipes papes. So this row of raw material, we use the non-woven fabric. And about the fabric fitting process, we can see there are a twin row of the raw material here, and which is called a concentric double row. And for this type of raw material, if one row of the raw material is used up, then the other row will be supplied automatically for the production. So for this kind of machine, there is no use for the staffs to shut down the machine and exchange the raw materials, which can produce a high capacity. And when the fabrics are transferred here, then it will be changed the direction it move forward, and then here it comes to the folding process, which is also very important. For this kind of machine, we can fold the fabrics into the N type or Z type, but usually the final lane of the raw material will be folded into a C type to flatten the bottom surface of the fabrics. And we can see here some tubes of each lane of the raw material, which is called the pre-liquid filling tube, so that it can make sure every lane of the raw material can be liquid filled completely. And we can see here is a screen here which can use to correct the direction of the raw materials, and it will make sure the raw materials can stay in the middle of the lanes to move forward. And we can see there are 20 lanes of the raw materials folded here, and each lane will be pre-liquid filled by the pre-liquid filling tube. And after the materials are folded, here we come to a very important process of producing the wipes machine, wipes products, which is the liquid filling process. And we can see here is also some tubes here. So each lane of the raw material will have one tube of the liquid filling process. And after the liquid filling process, then the long line of the raw material will be cut according to the specifications of our customers. And when the raw materials are cut, then here it will be transformed to this part, and we can see here is the stacking process, which means the raw materials can be stacked according to different specifications, and we can pack, for this kind of machine, we can stack materials from 30 pieces per bag to 120 pieces per bag. When the raw materials are stacked here, then it will be transported to the next process. And we can see this line of the wipes machine is equipped with a quality sensor, which can use to test each quality of the raw materials. And then here we comes to the packaging process, which can also define the capacity of the whole producing line. We can see here is the packaging films clothes we need to pack the raw materials, and we can see the raw materials can be transferred above the machine, and then it will be punched and labeled on the top of the packaging process. After it was punched and labeled, then it will be transferred under the lane and folded into a shape of cube to enter the packaging process. And after it was folded into a cube shape, then we need to make the end seal and two end seals and the cut process over here. And we can see here is heated wheels. Here are two pairs of the heated wheels, which are used for the back seal of the package. And after the materials are packaged and sealed and cutted, then for each pack of the large wet wipes, we have to glue a lid above the raw materials, and we can see here is a lid applicator, and the name of this lid applicator is a 4+2 lid applicator. 4 means there are 4 hoppers for this lid applicator, and 2 means there are 2 leveling places for this lid applicator. And we can see over here is 2 lanes. One is for the packages of the wet wipes products, and the other lane is for the lids of the wet wipes products. And these 2 means are the robot arm for gluing the lid on the package, on the surface of the package. And we can see the 2 robot arms will glue the lid according to the X and Y axis position set by the vision system, and then it will glue the lids over here and put the lid onto the products. So we can see for the lids we have this is the runway shape, and also we have a triangle shape and rectangle shape and different shapes according to your specifications and your expectations. And so until this step, here is a complete production of the wet wipes machine and of the wet wipes. And if we want to package the products into boxes, then here we come to the packaging process of the final products. And we can see there are 2 lines of the packaging process, and we can see both two kind of the packaging, both two kind of the machine are the unboxing machine. And the difference between the 2 lines is that we can make the single packages of the wet wipes into a bundle package, which can contain like this, which can contain 3 to 4 packages of the bundle package, and then it will be packaging into the boxes according to this packaging line. And this line we use to package the single packages of the wet wipes. So these 2 are the unboxing machine, and after that here we comes to the sealing machine. And this part before the unboxing machine, after the unboxing machine, here is the landing manipulator. And after that we can also use the palletizing machine to palletize the products. So the whole line is our is our high upgraded 20 lanes automatic twin roll wet wipes machine. And for the cutting speed of the machine, it can reach 550 cuts per minute, and the packaging speed can reach can reach 65 to 80 packs per minute, and the lead gluing precise, the double robotic arm will reach a capacity of 95 to 110 packs per minute. So it's really a upgraded kind of machine, right? And then here we comes to the next kind of machine, which our working staff are also testing. So here,
回应一下。相信我是不影响。相信我，相信这个锤大拇尖，大拇尖就拍多少？110。咱现在不能用。
Okay, so here is the next machine I'm going to introduce to you guys, which is called a 5 to 30 wet wipes line. And we can see for the fabric fitting precise, it also uses a concentric twin rolls structure for the fabric fitting. So there is also no need for this kind of machine to shut down and exchange the roll of the raw material. And then inside here, okay, we can see here we comes to the next precise, which is totally same as the high upgraded 20 lanes twin roll wet wipes machine. It will be transferred the directions here, and it will be go down here for the folding and liquid filling precise. And we can see here is the liquid filling precise. And also for this machine is special because we can make a cross folding tab for the fabrics by the insertion knife. And for the liquid filling precise, it is totally the same as the 20 lanes twin roll wet wipes machine. And we can see there are 3 giant wheels here, which is used for cut and fold. And after the raw materials are liquid filled, cut and folded, then it will be transferred down here to stacked according to the specifications of each packages of the wet wipes. And as the name of this machine can stack can stack the wet wipes with a specification of 5 pieces to 30 pieces per bag. And after here, till here, we can see there are 2 lanes of the raw material moving forward together. But for the next precise of the packaging machine, we can see there is only 1 lane of the raw material. So now we need here to create a difference of the 2 lane speeds to make them to combine into 1 lane and enter the packaging precise. And after here we come to the packaging precise, which also use the film cloth above here and punched labeled before it was folded into a shape of cube. And we can see they are testing the machine, and it will be also back sealed over here by the heated wheels. And after it was heated for the back sealed, then here we come to the end seal precise. And after the packages are end sealed, then it will be cut into single pieces, just as the and we can see on the screen the staffs are testing the machine so that to make sure the machine can run normally and efficient. And so we can see this is what the raw materials like after it was stacked, and we can see they are different between the two kinds of products, between the 5 to 30 pieces per bag wet wipes and the 20 lanes twin row wet wipes line. And we can see this one is larger and this is more portable. And we can see, and then we can see for this kind of the wet wipes, it was, we can see it's a Z-tab folding, and also it can make a cross-folding tab. So this is used to produce wet wipes products with a smaller specification, and for this we can see it's really large, so we can use for householding cleaning, kitchen wet wipes, and the wet toilet papers. So, and also we can see this wet wipes line is also equipped with a lead gluing process. But here it comes to a very different part, because we can see this lead gluing process only equipped with one single robotic arm. So we can see, but it has the same producing process as the 20 lanes twin row wet wipes machine does. And we can see there are also 2 lanes, for one is for the wet wipes and the other is for the leads. So the leads will be transferred here, and the robotic arm will suck the lead, and then it will be transferred and it will be glued here, and it will be stuck on the wet wipes transferred over here. And we can see for this kind of products, it uses a lead with a rectangle shape, right? And so here is the whole producing process of the 5 to 30 wet wipes line. And we can see the working staffs are working so hard for making sure the machine can work normally and with a higher speed. So yeah, and so here is the content of our factory, and the next step we will take you guys to the workshop to have a closer look about the other kinds of the wet wipes. So let's go.
Go to the OEM reference.
Yes. And 从这边做吗？
Okay. Welcome.
And for this process, you guys can tap and leave the questions you want to ask us, and I will answer you guys immediately. Any question is okay. And then we can see all these areas are the factories of our SUNY group. And we can see the wet wipes machines factory is only one single part of our whole factory. And our factory covers an area of more than 40,000 square meters. So behind here are both of the most of the factories are from SUNY Group, and we can see there are also many workshops to equip the machines in this larger factory. And when the machines are tested and equipped, then we'll transport them to our customers. And so SUNY Group is a professional wet wipes machinery manufacturer who has already worked in this industry for more than 20 years. And from now, as just I introduced before, we have a factory which cover an area of more than 40,000 square meters. And also we have more than 300 employees, both in our company and our factory, to give a high quality service for you guys. So if you guys are interested in our products, you can ask any kind of questions to us. And here we come to the officing building of the SUNY Group. So here is the main officing building for SUNY Group, and we can see we have different offices, and also we have some meeting rooms for you guys. So we warmly welcome every one of you to visit our factories. And we can see here.
Okay, some group we have four batteries, and we have two types of main products. One is for the recycling, another for the heating product. So if you have any need, just visit to us. It's okay. Finish. Let's go to the OEM production now.
So
We will have a customer from OEM production. So this is online to show you guys how that will be.
So, relying on our strong background of the wet wipes machine producing experiences and the background, we can provide a whole line of the service of OEM wet wipes products to you guys too. So the core advantages is that we have a whole raw material supply chain, and also we can help you guys to have a better plan about the cost of the raw material. And also we have our own research and development team, which can help you to invite different kinds of the wet wipes products with different functions. Yeah. And then here we come to our workshop. So let's go. So here is the door of our workshop. So I will go upstairs to show you guys our offices and the workshops of our company. So we can see here is the logo of our OEM wet wipes products, and we can see we have many brands under our OEM wet wipes products producing line. So here is the second floor of our workshop, and here is the office of our company. And we can see here is the office of our company. We can see all of this are produced by our wet wipes machine. We can see there are different specifications of the wet wipes, including the large packages, the wet wipes with 10 pieces per bag. And we can see we also have the mini wet wipes with a bundle package. And also, we can produce not only wet wipes products, but also the cotton towel products. All of here are the cotton towel products. And we can see here is the raw materials that we can use for producing the wet wipes and cotton towels products. So we can see there are the fabrics, and here is the leaves with different shapes. So the special shapes as the leaves or other kinds of shape are both available. And here we can see is the staple of the package of the wet wipes. And this is the pre-made bag of the, we can see here is the pre-made bag of the baby wipes. And also we can see for the products of cotton towel, we have two kinds of the packages. One is the bottom extraction, and the next one is the top extraction. So the top extraction is a smaller specification, and the bottom extraction includes several packages of the top extractions. And this can use to make it on the walls for 这个是放哪儿的？这个是放这儿。Okay. And so we can see for the smaller specification of the wet wipes, we also have the specifications with the single wet wipes. For the single wet wipes, and we can see for single wet wipes, we have the back seal and end seal, and also we have the full set seal, 酒精棉片. The full set seal, which are more usually used for producing the alcohol wet wipes. And so here are all the products that can be produced by our wet wipes machine and the cotton towel folding machine. So there are multiple choices for you guys to choose. You can feel free to ask what you are wondering on the during our live broadcast, and as soon as we see your question, we will answer you immediately. And so also for the products, there is no need to concern about the quality, because for the wet wipes machine, we can provide you with a CE 认证咋说？ certification. And for the products, we can provide you with the ISO certification or others, and each part of the raw material will have the related certifications according to your need. And for the functions of the wet wipes, we can see, so for example, this kind of wet wipe is used for baby wipes. And also, we have this kind of the sanitary wipes with a single package. And also, here is the wet wipes used for cleaning our clothes under the brand of our own company. And also, we have the wet wipes, which is used for cleaning your white shoes to make it brighter and cleaner. And also, we have the wet wipes with a function to clean your bags or shoes to make it more cleaner. Yeah. And also, here is the household cleaning of our brand, which can used in kitchen, living room, or whatever, just in your house is okay. And so here is the all the kinds of the products we can produce. And so I'm really wondering what you guys want to know more about. So please tap and leave your message. And we can see for the lid of the large package wet wipes, we also have the special shapes of a cloud, which is cute. So according to different kinds of customer, we can use different kind of the raw materials to increase the interest they want to purchase our products, right? So if we can make all of your requirements into reality, so feel free to message us and tap. 能上去吗？
Wonderful.
可以上去吗？可以上去吗？
Go ahead.
And so we can see the working staff here. They are working on both domestic business and international business. So they did a really good work. We also did a really good work.
That's good.
So let's go upstairs to the third floor to show you guys our fabulous workshop of the wet wipes. Okay, so we can see. So here is the area that we can place all of our raw material before they are used for producing the wet wipes. And we can see there are various types of the raw material. This part is the packaging film clothes of different specifications of the wet wipes machine. And for this part, until here, there are also the film clothes. And we can see there are different colors, different shapes, and different logos. So we can customize all of your requirements for not only the packaging film clothes, but also the raw materials. And okay, so here is the areas that we need for the water equipment. And we can see the waters are transported here, and then it will be transported by the cubes for the liquid filling process. So let's go over here. And here we can see all of this are the liquid that we use to fill in the raw materials of the wet wipes. And it's really true, because different wet wipes with different functions, they need different kinds of the liquids. So we can also customize the liquid according to the function and the specifications of the wet wipes products. And also we can add fragrances into the wet wipes to make it more smelly.
Okay.
So we can see here is also the area for us to place the raw materials. So this part, the huge roll, is the non-woven fabric that we use to produce the wet wipes products. All of them are used for producing the products. And we can see here is our workshop. And
It's running now, but it's for testing.
And you can see that our production workshop adopts a dust-free workshop, which can absolutely guarantee our products are clean and hygienic. And also, we can see all of our wet wipes machine are working normally and efficiently. And we can see over here is one of our working staffs. So we can see the workshops are totally dust-free, so the workers are required to change their clothes into sterile work clothes before they entering the production area. And we can see this staff is working for make sure the weight of each part of the raw material. And we can see this production line is the running production line is the 16 lanes automatic twin row wet wipes machine, which is also used to produce wet wipes with a specification of 30 pieces per bag to 120 pieces per bag. So welcome everyone. Welcome to SUNY Group's live stream room. Feel free to discuss any question you are concerning or wondering or interested in. And we can see after it was sealed and cut, then here it comes to a complete product. And then we can see here is the final part of the raw material, which is the lead gluing process. For the large packages, wet wipes, they need to glue the lead onto the package. And we can see for this produce, we use a lead with a shape of rectangle. And we can see after the products are produced, then for this customer, they choose to use manpower to package the wet wipes. And we can see he also choose a tiny box. Welcome everyone. Welcome to our live stream. 这是单片的。And we can see here is the box we customer use to package the single wet wipes. And for this, for the function of these products, we can see is a wet toilet paper. And we can see this line is also producing the single wet wipes. So after the visiting outside the workshop, I think you guys are definitely curious about each precise of the production of our wet wipes. So now I will take you guys into the workshop and have a deep look about our product lines. So let's go.我换衣服吗？
Now we need to change the posting to like the design.
So for this step, we need to change our clothes into the stereo working clothes to make sure the dust won't come into the workshop.
来点鞋套浴油，鞋套。好。
So for our shoes and our hair, we need to wear the cap and the shoes protector. 啥？哦，可以啊。
下条可以在哪里？
我带你们进去，我去问他。
我是那换这衣服吗？
啊？
要换这衣服吗？
对，换上衣服，戴上鞋套跟帽子。
我扣不上咋办？先穿。哦，有。
Welcome to the changing room.
那个号大。靠，有点小。哎，也还行，就这样。行。So before we enter the
我拿上你换吗？
我能戴一个这帽子吗？It's a little ugly, sorry. So, for the absolute clean of the workshop, we need to wear the clothes and the shoes protector, the hair caps, and the clothes and the mask. Yeah. 那陆玉没有衣服。
都穿没有衣服。我也去套个鞋套，戴上帽子。好。
Okay, so after we have already changed our clothes, then we going to enter the 记不上。OK。拍韩丽姐，拍韩丽姐。OK。OK。要不两个机器，一个陪审员拍男更衣室，一个我们拍女更衣室。Okay, so after that, here we come to our dressing room. 啊，也从男的这边走吗？行，那行吧。Here is the female, and here is the male dressing room. And after entering the dressing room, we need to wash our hand and enter the air showers outside of the. Okay, thank you. Outside. OK 吗 ？OK 了。没网吗 ？OK 了吗 ？Sorry about the signal. So now here we enter the workshop of the wet wipes machine, and we can see here is the 60 automatic twin rolls wet wipes machine. So it also uses a concentric twin roll of the raw materials. So there is also no need for this machine to shut down and exchange the raw material, which can guarantee a higher capacity. And we can see here is the tank of the liquid, which we use to add into the wet wipes. And we can see the and we can see here is the wet wipes machine which we use to make the single package. And we can see the fabrics are fed behind the machine, and the liquid filling process will be finished under the machine by a liquid tank. After it was liquid filled, then it will be transported down here to be folded into N or Z tab. After it was folded, then the insert knife will cut it, will make it as a cross-folding tab. And after it was cross-folded, then here we come to the packaging process. And we can see it's different because the heated wheel for the back seal process is above the machine, and after the package were back sealed, then it will come to the end seal process, and after it was end sealed, then the cutter will cut the package into single packages.
This one is a 5-speed one.
Welcome everybody, welcome. And we can see as the back seal process is above the machine, so the packaging film clothes are transported below the packaging precise, and then it will be transferred up here for the back sealing precise, and then here it comes to the two end seal precise. And we 哥们儿，可以给咱一个样品不？可以给我一个样品吗？谢谢。And we can see here is the product produced by this machine. And we can see it is a cross-fold tab, and then it folded into an N-type folding. And we can see the working staff here is checking if the machine is working normally and exchange the quality of every single pieces of the products. And for this part, here we comes to the 1 to 10 pieces per bag wet wipes machine. And we can see here is the wet wipes which are stacked after it was liquid filled and cut and folded. Then the back sealing process is also finished above the machine, and after it was back sealed, then it will be end sealed behind, and then the cutter will cut it into single packages and finish the producing process. 哥，我可以要个样品不？对，谢谢。And we can see here is the specification of this kind of product is 3 pieces per bag. And we can see for this kind of machine, the fabric feeding process, it uses a single roll of raw material. And we can see the staffs will shut down the machine to make it can work with a higher speed and more normally. And although this wet wipes producing line is not running, but the name of this wet wipes machine is also the 5 to 30 pieces per bag. And we can see it have the same structure as the machine in the factory, and we can see it also use a concentric twin roll of the raw material for fabric feeding process. And after it was stacked, then it will be transported here for packaging process. And we can see before the packaging process, the machine is divided into 2 lines. This is the amazing point of the 5 to 30 pieces per bag wet wipes line. So for this line, it is used to produce wet wipes with a specification of 5 to 30 pieces per bag, and it can also be folded into a N-type or Z-type and with a cross-folding tab. And we can see for the other line, this machine can use to produce a different kind of product. It's just the mini wet wipes. And we can see this line is used for producing the mini wet wipe lines. And when the webs of the mini wet wipes products are transported here, then it will be transported into a raising table. And when the sensor sense the fabrics are transported here, then the table will be raised, and the cylinder will push the wax into the package. So, and for producing the wet wipes, and we can see this machine is coming to running, and you can see the roll of raw material is fitting above here to enter the folding process. So we can see after the fabrics are transported and exchange the direction over here, here we come to the folding process. For this machine, the fabrics can be folded into N-type or Z-type, and the final lane of the raw material will be folded into a C-type to flatten the bottom surface of the raw materials. And we can see here is a screen over here, which can be used to control the position of the fabrics to make sure it can stay in the middle of the lanes. After the lanes of the raw materials are folded, then here the fabrics come into a liquid filling process. Each lane of the fabrics will have one liquid filling tube to add the liquid into the fabrics. And after the fabrics are liquid filled, then here we come to the cut process, and the fabrics will be cut into the expected lengths according to the customer's requirement. And we can see here is the cutter. For the cutter, we use 440C stainless steel to avoid the rusting of the cutters. And after the fabrics are cut, stacked, then here we comes to the packaging process. And we can see the film clothes are transported above the machine, and it will be punched here. After the film clothes are punched, then they will be labeled over here, and then it will be transported over here to fold it into a shape of cube, so that it will be packaged. And for here, this is the 2 pairs of the heated wheel for the back sealing process of the packages. After the package are back sealed, then we need this machine to make the 2-end sealing process of the wet wipes packages, and then cut them into single packages of products. And after it was packaged, then we need to enter the lid gluing process. The robot arm over here will glue the lid on the package, and then here we come to a complete product of this kind. And we can see the specification of this product is 80 pieces per bag. And for the lid, it uses a shape of rectangle. And we can also label your company's logo, information, and the function of the wet wipes over the lid. And then here is the inner label for prevent the dust coming to the wet wipe products. And we can see here is the end seal, and here is the back seal. Okay, so here we come to the next part. Okay, so here I enter into the product line of the 5 to 30 pieces per bag wet wipes and the mini wet wipes. And we can see these two kind of the products can use the same kind of the folding machine. So this machine is used for liquid filling process, folding and cutting process. And after that, it will be transported here. So the lanes will be divided into two lines, and we can see. So I will introduce the first line. We can see here is the machine for produce the mini wet wipes. And we can see when the wipes are transported here, then the raising table will rest it up here, and the cylinder here will push the wet wipes into the packages, and then it will finish the unsealing process here. And we can see here is the packaging film cloths we need for producing the mini wet wipes. And we can see the packages are back sealed already. So for producing mini wet wipes, we need the pre-made packaging film cloths. And after the mini wet wipes are packaged, then it can be also packaged into a bundle package. Here we come to this part. So after the mini wet wipes are packaged, then it will be transported here, and we can see here is the packaging machine for bundle packages. We can see the mini wet wipes are placed here with 4 packages in a line and 2 lines, totally 8 packages, and then it will be packaged into a bundle package. And we can see here is the single package of the mini wet wipes product, and we can see it can be opened here. And we can see each package of the mini wet wipes, it had 8 pieces of the wet wipes. Oh, sorry. 8 pieces. And this is the product we use. And this is the product we produce. And this is called a full-side seal wet wipes. So we can see the full side of the package film are sealed, and we can see for this kind of product, we can see when we open it, it can be folded with several times, more than just crowd folded or just N type or Z type. So it's more portable as it's a tiny package. Okay, next. And for the mini wet wipes, here is the mini packaging machine, and the next part is the bundle packaging machine. So the products will be transported here. After it is packaged, then it will be transported into the bundle machine. And for the other line of the machine, when the wet wipes are cut, liquid added, and folded in the folding machine, then it will be transported through this line and for producing the wet wipes with a specification of 5 to 30 pieces per bag. And by the way, we can see here is all the liquid we need to add into the wet wipes, and we can see here this one is the hydrophilic agent. So for the raw materials of the wet wipes, we need the spunless non-woven fabric, and the fabrics are usually made of the polyester and viscose. The more viscose you add into the fabric, it will be more soft and more hydrophilic. So if you want to reduce your cost to use the fabric with 100% polyester, then we need to add the hydrophilic agent into the fabric to make it more can absorb more the liquids. Okay, next. And here, this machine is the full side seal wet wipes machine, which is used to produce this product. And it will be folded by this part, and then it will be cut it over here. And after that, the insert knife will push the fabrics over into the packages. And then here we finish the end seal for end sealing process. And we can see for this liquid is used for producing the baby wet wipes, and this is the second part of the baby wet wipes liquid, and this is the A part, which means the first part. So, here is the workshop. So here is the workshop that we use for producing the OEM wet wipes products for our customer. So we can customize the different specifications of wet wipes, such as the wet wipes with 30 to 120 pieces per bag, which also means the large bag with a lead gluing process. And also we can provide the wet wipes with specifications with 5 to 30 pieces per bag, 1 to 10 pieces per bag, single wet wipes with 2 and seal packages, and the single wet wipes with a full-size sealed package. So all of them can be provided by our OEM wet wipes business. And also, if you want to produce the mini wet wipes with a bundle package, then it's also totally fine. And for our OEM wet wipes, we have a strong raw material supply chain, and also we have our own research and development team to test the quality of our products. And also we can see. Okay, so now the machine we are running. So now I will show you guys the production process of the baby wipes we provide for our OEM customers. So the machine we use to produce the baby wipes products is called the 16-lane automatic twin-roll wet wipes machine. And we can see for the fabric fitting process, there are 2 rows of the raw material of each side of the fabric fitting process, and this structure is called a concentric twin roll structure. So for this machine, when one row of the raw material is used up, then the next row of the raw material will be spliced automatically for producing the products. So if you purchase this kind of machine, there is no need for shutting down the machine and for exchanging the fabrics. And after the fabrics are fitting over here, then the column will exchange the direction for the fabrics moving forward. And we can see here we come to the folding process. This is the folding process of each length of the raw material. And as for the folding tab, this machine can fold the fabrics into N-type, Z-type, and usually the final length. If you're interested in this, we can also equip this machine with a probe to add liquid into the fabrics in advance to make sure the liquids are added into the fabrics totally. And after the fabrics are folded, then the fabrics will come into the liquid filling process. So we can see each lane of the raw material have one liquid filling tube for the liquid filling process. And after the fabrics are finished the liquid filling process, then the cutter will cut the fabrics according to the expected length of our customer. And for the cutters, we choose the 440C stainless steel to prevent the rusting of the cutters. And we can see here is the fabrics after cutting according to the expected length of our customer. And this part is the stacking part. So as we all know, this machine is used for producing 30 to 120 pieces per bag wet wipes. So each part of this raw material is 16 pieces. So the stackers will stack the fabrics according to the specifications of the customers. And we can see after the fabrics are stacked, then it will be transferred to the packaging process. And we can see the staffs are working here to examine the height, the weight of each part of the wet wipes. And after it finished the packaging process, then it will be lead glued a lid on the bottom of the package of each wet wipes products. Okay, so here I show you guys the totally working environment of our OEM wet wipes workshop and the wet wipes machine we can offer inside our factory. So we have multiple choices for you guys. So you guys can not only purchase the wet wipes machine through our company, but also you guys can choose the customized OEM wet wipes products from us. So there are multiple choices for you guys for not only the machines themselves, but also the products. So if you guys have any things you are interested in, feel free to tell us. You can tap into our homepage and message us, and any questions are welcomed. And also, if you guys are interested in our environments and workshop and factories and the detailed producing process of our wet wipes machines, then we warmly welcome you guys to invite our factory, which located in Zhengzhou, China. So welcome you guys to invite our factory. And if you guys want to know more details about our products, you can also feel free to contact us. So here above is the content of our today's live stream. So I sincerely hope to see you guys next time and contact you later. So thank you. Bye.